Welcome back, guys. This is Shogun Sanchez. We'll continue Danganronpa. So now we're gonna investigate. So we've got a couple of things here. Gonna start with the flower. Is it true? Does it really eat paper, plastic, and people? Anyway, I don't think it's related to the case, so I think I'll just stay away. If I check the body more thoroughly, maybe then I'll find out for sure if it's Kyoko or not. Okay. We'll go chest. The upper half of the body got set on fire in the explosion, so it's totally blackened. Also, the top half of the body is wet. Oh no. That's because it got set on fire and I threw water on it. Since I only threw water on the part that was on fire, the top half, the bottom half is still dry. In other words, there's nothing strange about the top half being wet. There isn't, right? Okay. We found out that the sprinklers would turn on at 6:30, so definitely the murder took place after 6:30 because the lower half is not wet. So that's one clue. We'll go to this. The white jacket the victim was wearing got totally burnt up. There's only one little piece left. The lower half of the body didn't get wet at all. After the body blew up, the top half got set on fire, so I dumped a bucket of water on it, which explains why the bottom half isn't wet. There's nothing strange about that, right? And then this one, I don't think Kyoko had this. Or maybe because she was wearing gloves. Huh? There's something weird about the body's fingernails. Oh, these are fake nails. They're really long. They seem like they'd get in the way for normal activity. Fake nails, okay. There's also something on the back of her right hand. Is this a tattoo? It got burned, so I can't make out the whole thing, but it looks like a picture of a dog or something. I've never seen anything like it before. Okay, tattoo on the right hand. I think that's it. We'll check this looks like the fragments of something. Oh, what's that? They're all burnt, so I can't really be sure, but I feel like I've seen something like it before. But where? Wait, I'll have to double check it later. Fragments near the body. I don't know what the frick is that. Maybe a portrait? There's a knife laying on the ground. Is this... It must be the knife that was stuck in the body before it exploded. The force of the explosion must have thrown it over here. The Monokuma files said the knife went all the way through the body from front to back. Does that mean this knife is what caused the fatal injury? Either way, this knife, it looks really familiar. Wait, is this... Yeah, no shit, that's it. It's the knife that person was holding. This is getting really weird. There are just too many strange coincidences. Whoever the person in the mask was that attacked me last night, they were holding that knife. And that's the same knife was used to stab the same masked attacker we found here. So maybe this masked person got stabbed because when they attacked, I was in kind of a trance. Maybe I reacted by grabbing the knife. And maybe then I killed him. And if this really is Kyoko, it would mean Kyoko is the one that attacked me. But why the mask? I just don't know. I don't remember anything clearly from last night. No, it can't be. There's no way. Okay. We'll go. This is the panel that controls the sprinklers. They're set. Survey 7:30. So the murder took place that murder maybe took place earlier that night, but the body was moved after 7:30. Huh? Hold on. So the sprinklers turn on 7:30 each morning, right? Then if the body was here before then, the sprinkler should have gotten it wet, which would mean the murder must have taken place. Yeah, that's one possibility, that the murder took place here after 7:30. So which means that this is the likely culprit, Toko. Listen, Makoto, do you remember how the body looked, before it blew up? If I remember right, it was wearing some kind of mask and a big white coat. Also, there was a knife sticking out of the stomach, and the area around it was stained with blood. Apparently, the wound had stopped bleeding, but the blood on the body was still wet. Byakuya said not to touch it to avoid getting all bloody, but for how much blood there was on the body, I didn't see any on the ground around it. Yeah, that's also one thing. Wow, thanks, that was a big help. Now that you explained it, I totally remember how it looked. Well, having to talk about it like that helped me remember it a lot better too. So thank you too. Body before the explosion. Okay, let's go to the chickens. I remember there were some chickens in the chicken coop. Ooh. One is missing. Holy shit. Huh? 4? What's going on, Makoto? Oh, I'm glad you're here. Listen, do you remember how many chickens there were in here? Of course, there were precisely 5. Yeah, right. What's wrong? There's only 4 chickens here now. We're 1 short. Huh? That's so weird. I wonder when it disappeared. I was down here just before nighttime last night, and they were definitely 5 chickens then. What are we going to do? Going from 5 to 4 is gonna have an impact on the structure of the world. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. If even a single piece disappears, the entire world will remain unfinished. I did my best to ignore Hiro and focus on the problem at hand. Why did one of the chickens disappear? Could it be related to the case? Okay, that's freaking weird. So, who does the body belong to? Whoever it is, I'm not gonna look. I don't wanna faint anymore. Good timing, Makoto. I wanted to talk to you. What do you want to talk about?
So, in other words...
I'd like to hear your alibi. Alibi?
In other words...
Correct. I'd love to hear where you were after nighttime began last night. Well, I was sick, so I was asleep all night. But why are you asking me about that now? And what's nighttime got to do with it?
Naturally.
Isn't it obvious the murder took place after nighttime? How can you know that for sure? Because just after nighttime began, I came to the garden. I was going around looking for everyone so I could tell them about Monokuma. Hiro's been spending most of his time in the garden the last few days, so I figured he'd be here. And I can confirm that when I arrived last night, there was nobody here.
In other words...
So the murder could only have taken place at some point during nighttime after I left the garden. However, Toko, Hiro, Hina, and I were in the gym together the entire night last night. What? Once I found Hiro in the garden, we immediately went to Toko and Hina's room to get them. At that point, we all went to the gym and began dismantling Monokuma. As a precaution, we made sure not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. In other words, all 4 of us have airtight alibis. The only ones who don't have alibis are me and Kyoko.
That's right.
And if the victim really is Kyoko, then I'm the only one without an alibi. Also, when we went to get Hina and Toko, we stopped by your room as well.
What?
But you never came to the door. So where precisely were you? I'm telling the truth. I was in my room, but I was dead asleep. I had a fever, so that's hardly an alibi. I know. So, what now? You seem to be quite the disadvantage here. I'm the only one without an alibi. That's really bad, isn't it? Talk to Hero. It's 11 o'clock right now. Okay, and... Oh, well, I was just thinking about when we first found the body. When the body was found, huh? I should look back at what I did this morning to help me remember when that was. Monokuma's announcement woke me up at 7 o'clock, as usual, and I headed for the dining hall pretty soon. Once I got there, I met up with Hina. That was right around 7:30. Then I headed to the gym, where everyone else was waiting. Next, Toko went to get the pickaxe, and that's when she found the body. What time was it then? Now then, Toko, what time is it? Just before 9. Okay. That's right. It had to be right around 9 o'clock.
You know?
Now that you mention it, I think you're right. So I think we can say for sure that the body was found at 9 a.m. Okay, my job is done. That's a pretty small job. When the body was found, added. Okay, let's go to the tool shed. Just to be sure, I should take on the tool shed. Oh, is this a tarp? Wait, was there a tarp in here before? I should probably look into that. It could be related to the case. Yeah, this was not here. The top is wet and covered with mud and grime. But the underside is totally clean and completely dry. One side of the tarp is wet and dirty. Something about that bothers me. That's one thing in here that concerns me. Okay, let's find out if anything was moved. Okay, the fertilizer. There's something carved, okay? It's definitely intriguing, but now's not the time to worry about it. Okay, I think that's it. I think I've checked everything I need to in this area. But I'm not done yet. There are other areas I need to check. Specifically that fragment I found before. There's somewhere I need to go in order to confirm my suspicions. And I still need to find out more about Kyoko. Is that corpse really Kyoko? If that's true, was that also Kyoko who attacked me last night? If I can find out more about her, maybe I can answer that question. Kyoko was never the kind of person to talk about herself all that much. Maybe if I can get into her room, I'll be able to find out more. But the key to her room...
It's all clear now.
Okay, it's with Byakuya, so you need to ask him. And I really don't like asking him. I don't have a choice. I have to see if he'll let me borrow her room key. Hey, Byakuya, if you do come up with an alibi, I'd be happy to hear it later at the class trial. Oh no, it's not about that. You have the key to Kyoko's room, right? I was hoping I could borrow it. I'm afraid I can't take that risk. You're the prime suspect after all.
What?
Of course, if I were to go with you, that would be a different story. Then, will you go with me? Sorry, I have my own agenda to take care of. Find me again later and we'll see.
Goodbye.
Depending on my mood, I may go with you or I may not. Come back later, huh? Okay, then in the meantime, I should look around somewhere else. Maybe I should check out that one area. Okay, what the frick is that one area? Okay, wrong button. Okay, let's leave here. Okay, what's that one area? Ah, the gym. The gym, man. Monokuma's laying dismantled on the floor, but I figured it wouldn't be here.
You know?
Ah, shit, the bomb. Oh, so someone took the bomb. Holy shit. And that bomb went missing. There's no doubt about that. The fragments I found in the garden. Fragments near the dead body. Okay, I've checked everything else I can think of. All that's left now is Kyoko's room. I should head back to the garden and ask Byakuya. Okay, I didn't... Frick, it was the bomb all along. Okay, I hope Byakuya gives us the key. You think you can go soon, Byakuya?
Let's go.
You wanted to check out Kyoko's room, right? Very well, let's go. Ah, wait for me! Byakuya walked off without a second glance, and I hurried after him on our way to the dorms. Well then, here we go. Byakuya took out the key and slid it into the keyhole, and then... And it's open. Looks like it. Thanks. Oh ho ho, we're gonna... Now what's Kyoko's room? Ooh, a diary. Is that a diary? So this is Kyoko's room. There's something on the table. It's a woodblock decoration.
What?
What's that? What purpose does it serve? I think it's probably a key. The lockers at those really traditional public bathhouses use them for their lockers. I wouldn't know. I've never gone to a public bathhouse. That doesn't really surprise me. It's hard to picture Byakuya doing something like that.
It's certainly possible.
But if it is a key, I think I might know what it unlocks. Really? What? Unless I'm mistaken, I'm pretty sure I saw something in the dojo that this might go. The dojo. Woodblock key. Okay, I think that's it. Here's her bed. I don't see anything interesting here, at least not as far as the case is concerned. The bathroom? She might have certain articles hanging out to dry. I'd better not look inside.
What?
You wanted to come here, right? So what is it you're looking for? Nothing in particular? I just thought we might find some kind of clue here. A clue that might help us understand Kyoko.
Come on.
You can't be serious. That's why you made me take out my time out of my search to come here. Sorry. Regardless, if you plan on poking around at random, you're doomed no matter how much time you take. Surely you have something more concrete, something to give us some sort of direction here. More concrete? Oh, I know. Earlier, Kyoko gave me something. What's this?
It's true.
Okay, it's that letter she gave when something happens to her. I'm sure I have it here somewhere. Found it. What's in that envelope? Kyoko gave it to me. She said if something ever happened, I should open it. Well, something has certainly happened, so open it. Okay. I opened the envelope and looked inside. Inside was a single piece of paper. Under the sheets.
What?
That's all that was in there? Yeah, it looks like it. Under the sheets. What could it be? But could something be hidden under the bed sheets? Part of me didn't expect to find anything, but as I lifted up the sheets, what's this? I found a crumpled up piece of paper. Class number 78, student registry. Mukuro Ikusaba.
I see.
It appears to be Mukuro Ikusaba's profile. Yeah, looks like it. That's probably the other thing Kyoko stole when she snuck into the headmaster's room along with a key. This must be the blank that Monokuma was talking about. Kyoko said a death without meaning was unappealing, and this is what she left behind. I don't have time for your sentimental indulgences. Hurry up and finish your search. Okay. I made an effort to pull myself together and then looked down at the profile sheet. Name: Mukuro Ikusaba. Female. The ultimate soldier. Whoa. Although small for her age, she was a military specialist trained in every weapon type imaginable. She showed an interest in the military from childhood and soon found herself completely absorbed in it. In elementary, she won a survival game tournament and began writing for military magazines. Just before entering middle school, while she and her family were on vacation in Europe, she disappeared. The story of a young Japanese girl being kidnapped quickly took over Japanese media outlets. An intense international investigation turned up no information, and she was never found. However, she reappeared in Japan 3 years later, alone and completely unannounced. She revealed that she had joined a mercenary group known as Finnerer for those 3 years. She insisted that she hadn't been kidnapped, that she'd received battle training of her own volition. However, she never revealed why she decided to return home when she did. Okay, that's interesting. The ultimate soldier, a mercenary group. This doesn't feel real. The world I grew up in, it's like a completely different dimension. It's like one non-fiction and the other is sci-fi. There's no way to even compare the two. That's how different this is. And that was how I saw things as just an ordinary person. But then,
I see.
I never imagined I would hear the name Finnerer in a place like this. Huh? You recognize it?
Naturally.
The Finnerer Mercenary Corps is a collection of battle-crazed warmongers. But they do have their uses and they always get their job done. That's worth remembering. This is all part of a world totally removed from the one I lived in. I have to say I'm intrigued. Every rumor I've heard says that Finnerer has already...
Found it!
Whoa, I feel like our hero is becoming a bit player and a bit player is becoming a hero. Ah, it's you!
What?
What have you got in your pretty little hand there? Oh, you found her profile. So what if we did?
Hey!
Don't freak out on me.
Now!
I'm not gonna hold it against you or anything. And in case you're wondering, I don't hold it against Kyoko either, even though she stole it and hid it. After all, There's no rule against stealing, is there? But who I can't forgive is Miss Ugami, who broke the rules and busted in the headmaster's room. Maybe I'll drag her corpse out here and slice it up and devour it. Bears are omnivores, you know.
What?
Are rule violations really so unforgivable? You're quite adamant about those regulations of yours. Of course I am. A proper school life is built on the dedication to an organization and order. Which is why even I, as the school headmaster, have to follow the regulations myself. Oh, so you're saying you have to follow your own rules as well?
Of course.
Absolutely. I can't have you complaining about how unfair it is. It all is, now can I? In fact, on the subject of fairness, would you like to know something interesting? Interesting? It's about the one writing all the rules. The one writing all the rules. They're actually one of the participants in this killing game. What? I don't think I ever actually told you how many participants there actually were, did I? I was thinking I should probably clarify that.
Hey,
When you all first got together in the main hallway back when there were 15 people, right? I think that first meeting may have led to a little misunderstanding among you all. A misunderstanding, are you saying?
in other words,
That's right. There weren't actually 15 of you.
yes indeed.
The total number of students taking part in this killing game was actually 16. 16? Then
Mukuro Ikusaba, the 16th student, lying hidden somewhere, the one they call the ultimate despair. Watch out for her.
the 16th student, Mukuro Ikusaba. She's part of this school life. So the one making all the regulations is... Why? Did you say something? Why are you telling us this? Oh, well, because, like I told you, this is a killing game. It's desperately popular. You wouldn't believe the ratings. And since we got so many viewers now, I wanted to make sure everyone was on the same page. I don't want to wake up in a hurricane of complaints and hate mail, you know?
Yes indeed.
Makes sense?
Well now.
Okay, that's all you get for now. Oh, actually, I do have some revenge to get, so I have an extra bonus for you. Revenge? I want to get back at the sneaky Miss Kirigiri, so I'm gonna share a little secret with ya. Seriously?
Hey,
You know how she wears those stupid gloves day in, day night, day out all the time? Well, don't tell anyone I told you, but she wears them to cover a bunch of hideous scars that she doesn't want anyone to see. What? Okay, now that's all you get. Man, he's annoying. He's freaking annoying. Kyoko wears those gloves to cover up a bunch of scars. Wait, so on the back of her hand, the tattoo. Ah, maybe that's the tattoo of a Finner. Wait, but no. Monokuma specifically said they were scars, right? And that's why Kyoko wears those gloves to hide the scars. Which means those fake nails on the corpse. Are you thinking about Kyoko again? Huh?
What?
Forget about her. What matters right now is uncovering Monokuma's trap. His trap?
Such ignorance.
God must have really hated you to make you so dull. Don't you remember what Monokuma just told us? He said there were 16 students, right? Which means Mukuro was a student here.
Right.
Obviously, Monokuma was trying to tell us that Mukuro is the one creating the rules to the game. But why would he tell us that, and why now? He said he wanted to make things clear so there wouldn't be any complaints later. But the mere fact that he said that proves that Mukuro is connected to this case. That's why Monokuma revealed the existence of a 16th student. He needs to make our investigation fair. Mukuro is related to the case?
It's certainly possible.
Perhaps she's the one who killed Kyoko. What? That would explain why we would have to have a class trial, wouldn't it? If she's a student and she killed someone, that would make her part of the school killing game. Mukuro is the killer? She killed Kyoko? Anyone should be able to come up to that conclusion, don't you think? In fact, that's exactly what I thought when the investigation first began.
What?
But based on what Monokuma just told us, I've changed my mind.
It's all clear now.
Mukuro Ikusawa isn't the culprit. Huh? What makes you say that? We thought Mukuro, the ultimate despair, was the mastermind's true identity. But if that's true, Monokuma's behavior makes no sense. Why would the mastermind go out their way to reveal themselves to us? That's a good point.
So in other words,
Mukuro giving us information that would raise questions about her would be bold, to say the least. It makes more sense than to assume that Mukuro isn't the culprit. So that's the trap. They want us to suspect Mukuro and come to the wrong conclusion. That's what makes sense to me. The way you say it, it definitely does seem possible. But if that's really true, if Mukuro isn't the killer, then who is? Well then, I believe our work here is finished. Let's move on. I'm sure there are other places in need of investigation. I should find out if that key and that dojo really are connected.
let's go.
Well, are you coming? Okay, we're now in the dojo. Man, out of the places here in Hope's Peak, this is the most wonderful place in all of Hope's Peak. Just look at that sakura. Man, so freaking cool.